The IBRT's Threadless store is now open. T-shirts, hoodies, even phone cases and protective face masks are now available at our very own merch outlet, iceboxradio.threadless.com. Choose from the IBRT logos, Scoop Sisters, Funny in a Small Town, Frozen Frights, and more. Then choose your merch. Clothing for men, women, and kids in a variety of colors. Accessories including buttons, stickers, mugs, and tote bags. Even notebooks and skateboards are available, and every sale helps the Icebox Radio Theater continue to bring the Northland's stories to the world. That's the Icebox Radio merch store at iceboxradio.threadless.com or just visit iceboxradio.org.
In all the annals of old-time radio, few series could match the artistic depth and understanding exhibited by the show responsible for our first offering this evening. I'm talking, of course, about Quiet Please. Created by writer-director Wyllis Cooper, Quiet Please offered truly unique stories, shifting from horror to mystery to science fiction and back again. It aired for 106 episodes from 1947 to 1949. Tonight's story was first broadcast on November 3rd, 1947 on the Mutual Broadcasting Network. So, we take you now to an unnamed city and the taxi cab of a regular guy named Julious. But Julious has a problem. People keep getting into his cab and asking to go to the same place. Now, the Icebox Radio Theater presents Take Me Out to the Graveyard.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. The Icebox Radio Theater presents Quiet, Please, a tribute to the classic radio series written and created by Wyllis Cooper. Quiet, Please for tonight is called Take Me Out to the Graveyard.
Which one, I said. Which graveyard? Well, we got a lot of them. The new one, the old one, the Catholic one, the Potter's Field.
Oh, any one will do, driver. I'm not particular.
You're kidding, mister, right?
No, just take me to the graveyard. That's all.
Well, you drive a cab 12, 15 years like I done, you get some funny ones. Drunks that want to take you home with them. Guys that say, take me to Hoosier Hotel when you're practically in front of it. Dames that want you to... Well, like I said, you've been in the business as long as I have. You've seen a few things. Well, I'm driving a cab to make a buck, not to argue with people about where they want to go, so I think Lakeside Cemetery. That's the farthest. I can rack up a couple of bucks, and there'll be somebody out there who'll want to ride back to town. Get in, mister. Nice day, I say to him.
Yeah, beautiful. I always say this time of year is the prettiest.
Yeah, so do I.
Good time of year to die.
Huh?
I said this is a good time of year to die.
Yeah, for my dough, no time of year is a good time to die.
But you gotta die, though.
Yeah, but it ain't good.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. I ain't died yet, but I can't get very enthusiastic about it.
That's why I want to go to the graveyard.
Why?
To die.
You ain't nuts, are you, mister?
Nope. What's your name, driver?
Julius Peterson.
My name is Booth.
Pleased to meet you.
B-O-O-T-H.
Okay.
So you can tell people when they ask you.
Tell what people?
Well, you know, policemen, coroners, whoever asks.
I already asked you if you're nuts, didn't I?
Well, I'm not.
Well, you're kind of acting like it.
No, I'm perfectly okay, Julius.
Well, something's wrong with you if you talk that way.
Nope.
Are you hurt? Like in your noggin or something?
I've never felt better in my life.
Well, you want to look out, you might really die.
I know it.
How do you know?
Well, that I couldn't tell you, Julius. I just know, that's all. And I'm not particularly upset about it.
By gracious, I am.
Oh, think nothing of it, Julius.
Well, you stop talking crazy then.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you, Julius.
And don't die.
Julius, you stick to the driving and let me worry about the dying. Will you?
You ain't worrying. You're all the time grinning. I can see you in the rearview mirror.
Watch the road.
Ain't afraid of getting killed, are you?
No, I'm not.
I didn't like the way you said that there.
I'm sorry.
How you gonna do this, Mr. Booth?
Die?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yet.
Well, what if you don't?
I will.
Hey, listen.
What?
What about me?
Oh, you'll be all right, Julius.
You sure?
Positive.
Well, that's something.
You know, it is a beautiful day.
Changing your mind?
I can't change my mind.
And do you work on the radio or something?
Why?
I just thought maybe you was one of them fellas that think up these mystery kind of stories, you know? It's night and you were practicing on me?
Sorry to disappoint you, Julius.
I don't get it.
Oh, you will.
You live here in town?
Nope.
Stranger, huh?
That's right. A stranger. On his last taxicab ride.
You know, I'm beginning to get an idea about you, stranger.
You are?
Yeah, I sure am.
What kind of idea are you getting, Julius?
Listen, mister, no suicides in my cab.
I'm not going to commit suicide, Julius.
Yeah, you better not.
But I am going to die.
Hey, listen here.
Hey, what are you stopping for? This is not the cemetery.
I know it ain't, but this is as far as you're going.
Well, now, what do you mean? I hired you.
Get out.
Now, look here.
No, get out, Mr. Booth. I ain't riding any loose nuts to any cemetery with suicide on their mind.
I told you I am not going to commit suicide, Julius.
I'll say you ain't. Not in my cab, at least. Outside, mister.
Well, if you say so, but it doesn't.
And the clock says 40 cents.
Okay. Here. Keep the rest. You know, you're not going to make it come out any different this way. I really wasn't going to die in your cab, you know.
Look out! Yeah, he was right. Neither one of us saw that gasoline truck that hit him. How do you figure that? He called it, didn't he? Said he was going to die? Boy, was he right. Well, like I said, pretty nearly anything can happen to a cab driver. Only it hardly ever happens twice. So it's a couple months later, and I'm bucking the line at the corner of Adams and Fulton, and this girl comes out of a store and walks towards me. She's wearing black stockings. You don't see many gals wearing black stockings these days. Steps towards the cab, so I reach out the window, unbutton the door, and I say, "Where to, lady?"
Take me to the graveyard.
What'd you say, lady?
I said the graveyard. The cemetery?
Lady, you kidding me?
Why should I kid you, driver?
What cemetery do you want to go to, lady?
Oh, is there more than one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, you pick one out.
I turn around in the seat to look at her. She's just an ordinary-looking gal, 26, 27, had on these black stockings. Look at her a minute and I said, "Lady, listen.
Yes?
Are you sure you want to go to the graveyard?"
Certainly I am. Why?
I don't like to go to the graveyard, lady.
You don't?
No.
Well, that's all very interesting, but I want you to go to the graveyard. So will you please pull down your flag and start? Now, please, Julius.
You know, it never occurred to me for the longest time that she called me Julius. How'd she know my name? Hey, how do you figure this one, huh? No, I didn't like any part of this. One trip to the graveyard started just like this, and look what happened. Well, I figure I'll run out of gas on this dame. It's been done before when a hack don't want to take you where you want to go. I just open my mouth to say it to her, and she says...
And don't tell me you're out of gas, Julius, because I know better. I can see the gauge.
Oh, lady, I was just going to tell you that...
The graveyard, Julius.
What are you going to do with a thing like this here? I don't like any little bitsy part of it. I tried to jump a red light with a cop standing right there looking at me, and it turns green. I'm sunk. This gal with the black stockings, she just giggles and laughs. She was the cheerfulest woman I ever seen. She leans over and talks in my ear.
Hurry, Julius.
I wanted to say, "Why, lady?" You know what? I was scared of how she might answer me. Up Adams to Maine, out Maine to Knoxville, out Knoxville on the way to the graveyard, and after a while she said something. I was thinking and I missed it, so I said, "What'd you say, lady?"
I said, "Can't you drive any faster?"
Well, I thought I was saying, "Lady, they got speed laws in this here town," but that wasn't the way it came out. The way it come out was different. Well, I know it come out different because of the way she answered me.
Because I have to get there quickly. Because I've got to die.
How scared can you get? I missed a streetcar by about 6 inches. Well, I swallowed my heart back down and drove about half a block before I spoke to her again. I said it very carefully. I didn't understand you, lady.
What?
I didn't get you. That is, I didn't get what you said.
Oh, I said I've got to die.
I thought that's what you said.
You see, that's why we have to hurry.
You don't want to go to a hospital? You see, I'm trying to make myself, rationalize this thing. I says to her, "You don't want to go to a hospital, huh?"
I'm not sick.
Well, what's this about wanting to die, ma'am?
I didn't say I wanted to die. I said I have to die.
This wouldn't be a gag, would it?
It certainly would not.
No, you wouldn't know about this guy.
What are you talking about?
Well, there was this guy a couple of months ago. His name was Mr. Booth.
Well?
Well, he got in my cab and he wanted to go to the graveyard.
Oh?
And he said he was going to die.
Did he?
You mean, did he say so or did he die?
Yes.
Well, he done both, lady.
Well, you see.
Lady, get out of my cab.
I will not.
You're not going to die in my cab now.
Well, I will if you don't get to the graveyard pretty quick.
You get out.
I won't do it. I hired you to take me to the graveyard.
Talk just like that Mr. Booth did.
Did you make him get out of your cab?
Darn right I did.
What would you have done if he hadn't gotten out?
Well, I'd have thrown him out.
Well, you can't throw a woman out.
No, but I can just park here until you get out.
But I won't get out.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't. I'll die right here in your cab.
Lady, please don't do that.
Then get along to the graveyard. You'd better hurry, too.
Lady, please.
Get a move on. There isn't much time.
Lady.
You better take my name.
Why?
You know why.
So as I can tell the cops who you are?
Who I was.
Okay, lady, but I really wish you wouldn't.
It's Henrietta Gilbert.
Miss Gilbert, would you please...
Drive on.
I'll get in a jam, Miss Gilbert.
Drive on.
Doggone it.
Hurry.
Why couldn't you take another cab?
Because this is the right cab.
What do you mean?
I knew it was as soon as I saw it.
This thing look like a hearse or something?
It does to me.
Well, it ain't.
That's what you think.
I don't see what you're so cheerful about.
Why shouldn't I be?
Well, if you're gonna die...
Oh, goodness. I can't help it. So why cry about it?
Well, sir, I turned around and I looked at her. That was where I made my mistake. Turned right around again, and well, where that streetcar come from, I'll never know. I didn't miss that one. Oh, sure, I ran right into the side of that one. She was killed. No, I wasn't hurt at all, except for this little cut on my forehead here. Can hardly see it. Cost me $46 to get my front axle straightened, get the grill work welded, a trip to the license commissioner's office. Of course, I didn't tell them what I told you. I didn't want to lose my license and get sent to the goofy house. Besides, you believe it though, don't you? Well, you will. There's another one, a couple weeks later. Little old man says, "Take me out to the graveyard." I said no, and he called a cop. On the way, he asked me to stop at a cigar store and get change for a $10 bill. When I come back, he's laying on the floor, stone dead. Took 3 weeks off and stayed home. The first night I took my cab out, a soldier in uniform stops me. Yeah, sure. You know what he said. I didn't get him to the graveyard either. He was just telling me what it was happened to him in the war. I just heard a funny noise, and there he was, dead. That time was kind of rough on me. The license authority called an investigation, and there's this inspector lady named Rice.
You know you're in a jam, Julius.
I haven't done nothing, Inspector.
Nothing anybody could hang on you. So far.
I didn't do a thing.
4 people have died in your cab. Is that nothing?
One of them didn't.
What?
He was outside the cab.
Now look, let's not get into any technicalities.
All right.
Okay, let's hear your story.
I already told it to you, Inspector.
Well, you don't expect me to believe that malarkey, do you?
I believe it.
You do, huh?
Well, I was there when it happened.
And they all wanted to go to the graveyard?
I told you that.
Yeah, I know you did. And they all told you they were going to die.
I told you that, too.
All right. Now, I want you to tell me one more thing, Julius. How did they know it?
What?
How did they know they were going to die?
Well, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Didn't you ask them?
Well, I never thought about it.
Why didn't you?
Well, my gosh, Inspector. Would you think to ask that?
I don't know. Never happened to me.
Yeah, well, it sure happened to me.
That's what you say, anyway.
It's true, Inspector. Just as true as I'm sitting here.
Julius,
Ma'am?
you didn't kill them people, did you?
No, I didn't. What?
I just said,
Oh.
I ought to suspend your license.
No, don't. Please don't. I mean, Inspector,
I ought to.
I gotta make a living.
You don't have to kill people.
I don't.
Well, they die.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, but not in your cab.
What?
I mean, they ought not to die in your cab.
Well, that'd be all right with me, Inspector.
So, you can't figure out any reason, huh?
Well, if I could, would I be taking people to the graveyard?
Hey, you got something there, Julius.
I know it.
But of course, if people tell you to take them somewhere, you have to take them. City Ordinance 809B, Section 19.
I know it.
I can't figure it out.
Me neither.
Must be something in your cab.
What?
Maybe your cab's haunted.
Don't be... I mean, I don't think so.
Sure you don't say anything to them?
Well, I beef about taking them to the graveyard.
I mean, besides that.
No.
You don't put no hex on them or anything?
I wouldn't know how. What am I going to do, Inspector?
Well, you can't do anything about these people. They're all dead, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah. But don't do it anymore,
Don't do what?
or I'll suspend your license.
But, Inspector,
Don't give me an argument now, Julius.
I ain't, Inspector. Listen, I just...
One more and I snatch your license.
But I tell you, I don't know...
Listen, Julius.
What?
There must be a reason for it.
Reason for what, Inspector?
Where's your cab?
Outside. Why?
I got an idea.
Now, listen, Inspector.
What?
I thought you was just gonna...
Was what?
Well, I guess you ain't, though.
Yes, I am.
Now, Inspector.
Driver,
Ma'am?
take me out to the graveyard.
Okay. So, what could I do? Well, she's the license inspector, ain't she? Hey, how do you feel, Inspector?
I feel okay.
Oh, good.
Hey, you can drive fast if you want to.
No, Inspector.
Go ahead.
I go fast, I bump into something, you get your skull busted, that's all, sister.
You won't bump into anything.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
You heading for the cemetery?
Well, you called a cab, Inspector.
I don't feel anything.
Well, stay that way, will ya?
When did these people tell you they were going to die?
Different times?
I'll tell you if I feel like that.
You do that. Then I'll stop.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
Yeah, and then I'll run.
Well, I feel okay.
Just keep it that way, Inspector, that's all I ask.
This here's a nice cab you got, Julius.
Yeah, it used to be.
Hey, Julius.
What?
This cab smells funny.
I don't smell nothing.
Well, I do.
Oh, now listen, Inspector, I keep this...
No. It's nice.
Oh.
Flowers.
Huh?
Carnations.
You feel okay, Inspector?
Sure. And roses.
Listen now, ma'am,
And something else, too.
What?
Lilies, and by golly, that's right.
Oh.
Lilies.
Oh, boy.
Say, Julius, how far are we from the graveyard?
Well, we're getting closer. You still feel okay?
Oh, I feel wonderful. Just smell those lilies, those flowers.
Well, then I'm glad I can't smell them.
Just like a greenhouse.
Oh, she's nuts.
Or like a funeral.
Say,
Hey.
did you say lilies, Inspector?
Yeah, why?
I can smell them, too.
How much further, Julius?
We're pretty nearly there, Inspector. How do you feel?
Elegant. How do you feel?
Awful.
I'm not dead yet.
Don't say that, for gosh sakes.
What's the matter, Julius?
You sure you feel all right?
Oh, I feel swell. Only those lilies smell awful loud.
Oh, doggone it, there ain't no lilies.
You smell them, don't you?
I sure wish I didn't.
Look, Julius.
What?
There's the cemetery.
We made it.
Don't stop.
Why not?
Don't stop at the gate. Drive on in.
No, ma'am.
Now listen, Julius.
I don't want to go in.
I hired you to take me to the cemetery.
Look, I don't like graveyards, Inspector.
Go on in.
I don't want to.
Come on.
Oh. Well, now we're here.
Yeah, we sure are.
We're here, so let's go back.
Wait a minute.
Where are you going?
Say, this is a pretty cemetery, Julius.
Well, come on. Come on now, let's go back.
Yeah, it sure is pretty. I'm glad we came.
Come on, Inspector.
No.
Oh, why not?
Don't be such a sap, Julius. I'm gonna stay here.
What?
I'm going over here and going to sleep.
Hey, that's a grave.
Well, what's the matter with that?
You ain't dead, Inspector.
Oh, yes, she is, Julius.
Mr. Booth?
Sure she is, Julius.
Miss Gilbert?
Why, sure, Julius. There's nobody in a cemetery at night, you know. Except dead people.
Sure, Julius.
Sure, Julius. That's right.
Well, I ain't dead. Yeah, it was right. I guess I'm dead, all right. I took myself out to the graveyard. Oh, yeah, I'm still driving a cab, sure. I only make one trip, though. Always out there. I pick up people all over town, but they always want to go to the same place. I'll probably be picking up you one of these days. You feel all right? Cab's waiting right outside. All you gotta do is say, "Take me out to the graveyard," and I'll take you there. No? Okay. Some other time, then. Some other time.
You've listened to Quiet Please, which was written by Wyllis Cooper. It starred Jeffrey Adams as Booth, Diane Adams as the Inspector, Charis Boyer as Miss Gilbert, and featuring Justin Kapla as Julius.